Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another video, and today I will be doing a review of the XinXUN X53F Destiny, as you can see here. And now this is a somewhat cheap FPV quad. As you can see here on the bottom is the camera with the FPV antenna right there. And now this is a pretty cheap quad. I believe it's somewhere around $70. However, on GearBest, because as you can see, this box is huge, so they do not offer free shipping, and shipping's probably going to be somewhere like $20. So it's probably under $100 total. Now GearBest sent this to me to review, and it also comes with a USB charging cable ending in the JST plug, as you can see there. Pretty common plug. It comes with a little USB card reader with a clear cover there, and it also has a 2 GB micro SD card, as you can see there, and it comes with two separate manuals, one for the quad, as you can see, the Destiny, and one that says FPV manual, English and Chinese. However, the English is, you know, pretty bad, not very good. And now here's the transmitter sorry, the transmitter that comes with, and it's a fairly interesting transmitter. You know, it's kind of like the Hubsan X4H107D or the SD's Proto X FPV transmitter. However, it feels a bit cheaper, and if you notice, I'm missing two trim buttons there because they actually fell through. And my third one and fourth one looks like they're about to go, and that's probably because I took it apart to look at the FPV aspects of it, trying to determine what frequency it was, but that's probably my fault, and I could fix it, but I just didn't feel like taking it apart again, and it's not really a big deal. And the SD card slots in up here, so it records to the quad, so if you, let's see, interference that you get, all the jumpiness will be recorded, since you can only record to the transmitter. And the quadcopter also has a 650 milliamp hour battery in there. However, it is fairly hard to remove. There's only one screw, and then you have to like pop this this plate off that the camera's screwed to, and then you have to unplug the camera and get it out, and then you have to pull the connector through this hole. So I just find it's not really worth it. But I did take it apart to see what size battery it was, and it just ends in the JST and it plugs in right there. So fairly easy. And then it also does have an on-off switch right here. However, it is fairly hard to get to with the camera, so you kind of have to get your finger in there, and it's really short and it kind of hurts. But you just set the quad down. I'll turn on the transmitter. And now there is only one LED, as you can see there. So there's only one LED up front, so that's kind of disappointing. However, it's pretty bright, but that's it. So I got the white version because I thought the LEDs might work better. And now, as you can see here on the transmitter, you have the FPV footage. I'm trying to get the light out of it. So as you can see here, you have the you can see it's transmitting, and if you put the screen there, it like never ending. But you can see the live footage, and now there's a little bit of delay to it. Not too much, but when you're flying, you do definitely notice it. And the frame rate of the FPV is pretty low, so it's not that great to fly, and the range is kind of bad, and it's really choppy. So unless you go really slow, the FPV is kind of not really worth it. And the screen's not that bright. You can change the brightness. And now on your transmitter, your sticks both click. You click your right stick, and then give input, and it'll do a flip in that direction, so pretty standard. And on your left stick, you click that, and it'll change rates, and you have 3 rates. Low, medium, and high, and the yaw does change. However, the yaw is pretty slow in all of them. And the pitch is actually not too bad. It does get moving pretty good. I like it. It's a nice smooth flyer, but definitely only outdoors. Even though it has prop guards, the yaw is just too slow for indoors, and FPV wouldn't really be any good. Now, as you can see up here, let me try and... You can see it shows like cell phone tower bars up there to show you your signal strength. However, that's not really accurate. And then also you have on the left there, let's point it out, up on the, let me try and get it closer. On the left here, you can see the transmitter battery level. It says mine's almost dead. And over here for this battery level, it says the battery of the quad. As you can see, that's at a 2 out of 4 bars, so it's kind kind of hinting at that it has telemetry. However, that's not true, because oftentimes, like, even when the farther away you get, it seems like that goes down and it can be dead, and then it will be full when it's dead, and that battery level just doesn't work at all. And now for down here, this button up here, which you can see right here, you press that button and it'll take a picture on the camera, and then you press this button over here and it'll start the recording on the camera. And it won't do it right now because I don't have an SD card in, and it'll say recording, and it'll record to the SD card here. And up here you have headless mode. You click that and it'll enter headless. And over here you have return to home. You can see the little arrow there, and it'll try to come back to you, but it's basically just entering headless mode and pulling back on the right stick. And now headless mode is just, you know, not very good, not terrible, but I wouldn't say use it at all, really, because return to home is more likely to fly away from you than anything. And now the battery inside there, like I said, it's a 650 milliamp hour battery. With the stock charger, it takes about an hour and a half to charge, so fairly long charge times. And flight times with it fully loaded down with the prop guards and camera on, you only get about 5-minute flights, so that's not very long. But if you take the prop guards off, there's just one screw on each guard there, and then you have to unscrew the camera to take it off. So 8 screws total, you get about 7-minute flight times. So flight times, I wish they would have a little bit larger battery, maybe an 800 milliamp hour battery, something a little bit bigger, I think. Let's see, and now you can go through, if you press and hold, you can see it says pair over here. If you press and hold the button, and then it says menu over here, you press and hold that button, you can go through the menus and you can change the brightness and contrast on the screen. So I thought that was cool. You could have a little customability. But overall, it flies pretty well. I mean, like I said, it's a little bit, feels a little bit heavy, especially with everything on. It has the geared motors, as you can see there, so it doesn't have too much power. And this shell is just pretty much all empty. But it does have nice pitch to it, a little bit slow on yaw, however outdoors it's not too bad. But the FPV aspect of it, you know, it's just not very, I wouldn't say that good. So this is kind of a weird quad, because, I mean, it's a nice flyer, but paying that much extra for the FPV, I'm not really sure who would want that. I mean, it's an okay introduction to FPV, I guess, but certainly not something you would be like racing or flying around. But if you're going real slow, and then the lagginess won't be too bad, I guess it's okay. So yeah, let's go check out the flights. Okay, here we are for the indoor flight of the XinXUN X53F, as you can see here. And now, this is a FPV quad, so as you can see the screen there, it's moving in real time with the quad. As you can see, maybe there it kind of makes a never-ending effect because it's transmitting and sending out. But let's put this down here, and I'll start off in low rates here. So I'll just take off, and I have the prop guards on and the camera, so this is the heaviest form you can fly in. And as you can see, it's pretty stable. Very stable. It's a little bit noisy indoors, but outdoors it's not so bad. But the gears are very smooth. As you can see, that's very stable. I'm giving just a little bit of input. And now this is low rate yaw. So the yaw and low rates is very slow. So, you know, low rate yaw is pretty low. And then here is mid rate yaw, or low rate pitch, I mean. And then here we have mid rate yaw. So a little bit faster, but still very, very slow. And then here's mid-rate pitch, so a little bit better, getting a little deeper. And now we have high-rate yaw. So that's high-rate yaw, so I feel like that could be low-rate yaw. I mean, the yaw on this thing is just really slow, but I guess that might be to help with FPV flying a little bit. And now here's high-rate pitch, so it's really high pitch, but really low yaw, so that's kind of confusing. And now the transmission, I'm not sure what frequency it transmits on, but it's a little bit laggy, and it's got a low frame rate. Let's see, maybe if I can fly by the screen here. Nah, it's too small of an area, and it's just a little bit too laggy. A little prop guard test there. So let's do some flips by clicking in the right stick. Oop, this one I guess doesn't. You need to have a little bit more height with this one to do flips. So as you can see, it'll do flips, and pretty nice flips. Needs a little bit of recovery time, but not too bad. Let's test out the prop guards here against the wall. So, and they work a little bit. I mean, they're not great, but they have a little bit of function. Definitely not as good as some I've seen, but not the worst. Let's get a close-up. You can see there's only one LED. I definitely don't like that. If there's only one LED. But it looks pretty cool. I like the design of it. So I guess that was good enough. That's really all there is to show indoors. Mostly an outdoor flyer. So now let's come in for a landing. And there we go. That was my indoor flight of the XinXUN X53F. So now I'll take it outside and I'll show you what it can do. Let's go check it out. Okay, here we are for the outdoor flight of the XinXUN X53F Destiny. As you can see here, I've taken everything off except for the FPV camera, obviously, because I'm going to try and show some footage. Maybe I don't know if you'll be able to see that there. It's not very bright out. I don't know if you'll be able to see. It's actually snowing right now. Hopefully no snow will get on the lens, but maybe you can see that. I'm going to try and do a little FPV, and I'll include some footage from the camera because you record to the transmitter after the end of the flight. So let's just start off here. And now with everything besides the camera moved, it has a decent amount of power to it. And it's got a unique sound. The gears are really smooth on this one, so that's really nice. And there's like no wind out right now, a little bit of wind, but it's very stable, as you can see. It's snowing right now, but I need to get this video done. It's actually getting a little bit brighter. And now this is in low rates. That's full yaw right there, so that is low rates yaw. That's as fast as it's gonna get, so, in low rates. And then here's low rates pitch. So the pitch is better than the yaw, but both still pretty low. Maybe okay for a beginner, not too bad for FPV, maybe. And now, here is mid-rates yaw. Wind's picking up. You can see still pretty slow, that's full yaw. And then here is high rates pitch. So, a little bit deeper. And then we go into high rates. Here's high rates pitch. Not too bad on pitch. Decent pitch. And then here's the yaw. Still a lot slower than I want it to be. The yaw is still pretty slow. That's full yaw. But, you know, I guess for a kind of beginner FPV quad, that wouldn't be too bad. Now you do flips, so you're clicking it on the right stick and then getting input. And I'll do a flip in that direction. And the flips aren't too bad. It recovers pretty nicely, so pretty nice flips. Let's just fly around in high rates here. There's a little bit of wind out. It's gusting, but hopefully you can see it okay. I know it's a white quad, but it's getting a little bit brighter out. That'd be kind of cool if you can see the snow. It's snowing right now in the background. That looks cool as the quad's flying through it. But yeah, now let's take it and let's test out headless mode. So I just click on this button over here, this compass button, and then it should put it in. I'm pretty sure it calibrates. It might do it before the flight with the stick calibration. I actually forgot, but it's not too far off. So let's put it out and then press return to home. So, you know, it's not too bad. It kind of gets off a little bit. I'm trying to wake the screen off so I can show you maybe some FPV. It's kind of the screen's too dull for you to see on the camera, I'm sure. But even for me flying here, you need to be in a lot of shade. Yeah, the screen's too dull. I can't see it. At least not enough to fly. Everything's too washed out, and the frame rate's really low. And the range is not too bad. I mean, it's still not great. I think it might be 2.4 gigahertz FPV, so it might be interfering. I've never had a dropout, but I don't know. Just the Wi-Fi or the FPV loses range after a little bit. So I mean, if you go real slow and just, you know, real slow and you're in shade, you can do a little bit of FPV. It's definitely not a racer. It's just, I guess, a little bit of an introduction, and you know, it's not too bad. It's a decent quad. It flies really nice. The FPV is probably the weakest link, but at this price point, I believe it's under $100 on GearBest. So, you know, pretty nice. So let's that was about it. So let's catch it here. So there we go. That was my review of the XinXUN X53F. A couple things I think could be improved, like the props could be a different color, more than just that one LED. Transmitter feels a bit cheap. I actually lost one of my trim buttons. It fell down inside. Screen's a little bit dim. You probably can't see it. And transmission's a little bit laggy, but you know, for under $100, I think it's still a pretty nice quad to fly, and I have a lot of fun with it. So that was my end of the review. Please subscribe if you don't already, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.